Hey everybody, welcome back in the shed. I'm Troy Shaw, and with me as always is Mr. Dave Griffiths. What's up, Dave?
Oh, not too much. It's a beautiful night here in Waco, and we got a great show tonight. How's everything with the Brood?
The Brood is good. Keeping me busy for sure. Well, today on In the Shed, we welcome our only third female guest, Kayla Ray. How are you tonight, Kayla?
I'm good. How long have y'all been doing this to only have 3?
It's almost a year.
Really?
This is
episode 21. Yeah.
21.
Well, you know, we're not misogynist, Kayla, and we really appreciate you gracing our shed with the fair sex, but 3 is a good number.
And we'll get more, of course. But so, Kayla, you've been making quite a name for yourself with your style of country music. Where did you grow up? When did you get turned on to music? And who were some of your early influences?
I grew up in Robinson. My grandparents raised me. And I don't think you get turned on to music. I think it just kind of is a part of you. But, yeah, my grandmother loved country music, the kind of country music that I believe in. So for really as long as I can remember. But I grew up loving Hank Thompson, and he was a Waco guy. And I grew as an adult to love, Haggard and Jones. And, as I grew, my fondness of the subject matter kind of grew. But, yeah. And I loved Tanya Tucker when I was a kid. I still do, but, yeah.
So you like the old school country, the real country, I would call it.
Sure. Like if we're playing out and somebody asks us to play a cover, I tell them if it was released after 73, then we don't know it. So.
Well, Tanya got started young, so like you, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I wish that I had success like that. Her first number 1, she was 13.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I still don't have one of those.
Yeah, well, it's coming tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Number
Well,
1 in the
I've been checking you out on YouTube, and I see you've been studying commercial music management. Was this under Dick Gimbel at MCC?
It was, yeah. He's been a huge, huge dude in my life, just all areas of my life, especially music. But, yeah, that program's great. They have a great thing going over there.
So Dick was our last guest on In the Shed, and he had many great stories. It was such a great program. Is all your schooling behind you at this point, or are you...
Well, it depends on what you call school, and I don't think I'll ever be done learning. But I have got about 15 hours left to finish a bachelor's degree. This is the first semester I've taken off since I graduated. My associate's is in commercial music management, but I took a long time to get it because I also took lessons that weren't part of the protocol. Because really, that degree only matters, what you do with it. You can't go get a job with an associate's degree in commercial music management.
True, yeah.
So, eventually I'll probably finish my bachelor's degree in business management, but for now, knock on wood, music's really keeping me busy and paying the few bills I've got. So that's kind of my main priority now. But yeah, I love to learn, so probably not.
Okay, cool. Well, you definitely mind the old school influences in your music, and I'd like you to play something for us now that harkens back to that.
Sure.
What would you like to play?
This is a song from the record.
Tell us about the record and tell us about what you got going on.
I released my first ever full-length record in August of last year. It's called Love and Liquor. We named it after the food groups. I tour managed for a guy named Jason Eady for 2 years, and he...
Oh, yeah, I know who Jason Eady is.
And he actually produced my record for free. He wouldn't take a dime for it.
He's good.
He's fantastic. I learn from him every day. Yeah, I'm playing with him Friday night, actually, here in town at Lakeside Tavern.
Really?
Yep. He and Adam Hood are playing.
He's good, too.
Yeah, they're great. They do this Southern Brothers tour thing.
Yeah.
How many songs on the album?
There are 10 on the record.
Are they all original songs?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all written by you, or do you have some co-writers? Or
there's 2 that are co-written with Nick Dennard, Your Memory, and South Side of Town, which was the first radio single. But yeah, I've got a hand in all of them. And good, bad, or ugly, I'm proud of that. But yeah, we did Kickstarter and we raised over $12,000, which is crazy.
Wow,
crazy
that's
talk.
Amazing.
It really is.
Through Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've heard about, I've always wondered about people that are doing Kickstarter things, and I always wondered if it really pans out.
Yeah.
And you must have a lot of Facebook friends or somebody that really got behind you to contribute to that.
I was really thankful, and Jason did one for his Daylight and Dark record, and his wife Courtney Patton did one for her previous record, and so they really encouraged me to do that. And I was kind of on the fence about it because I grew up, working for the things that you have, and so you got to swallow a lot of pride to to go to people, especially people that care about you, and say like, hey, I'm doing this, give me your hard-earned money. That was really tough. So we just made sure that like each level was very much worth it, and we kind of pulled out every stop. You know, here in town, people aren't as privy, you know, to online shopping and stuff, which is fine, really. I think it's a benefit. So we did things like I'd have a tangible order form, like I was selling Girl Scout cookies, and at each show they had that option too. Or we papered every venue we played with something that had a square code, so they could, you know, sit at their bar table and go immediately to the website. And yeah, it worked out.
Kickstarter is so awesome because, you know, years ago, I mean, this was like 7 years ago, I contributed money to a guy named Brent Best, who's from the great band Slobberbone. One of my favorite band. Oops. Oh, yeah. How did that go?
I don't know.
Anyways, Brent put something on his website years ago, and I sent him a check for like $15, and wrote it off.
Sure.
Never going to get it. And Brent was such a guy, such a stand-up guy. Somehow he kept track of all this. One day I'm in the kitchen, and Karen, my wife, who he met, said, hey, you get a package here from Brent Best. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and it was his latest CD.
Yeah.
And his latest CD is number 5 on the Americana music charts right now.
That's amazing.
And you know, it was just, like I said, this is way before Kickstarter was out there. Kickstarter makes it so great for people like you to go ahead and and get something. But, you know, I guess it's been around all along in one form or another.
So what did your contributors get?
Depending on what you know, what they donated, obviously. Each, I think $10 got you a pre-release copy of the record that was autographed and like a sticker or something. And then they kind of went up from there. 25 was a shirt and the record, and 50 was I don't remember what 50 was. And some of them included like handwritten lyrics, like framed, and then it went on up. Like the top one was $5,000, and Edie and I did a private show for that.
So somebody contributed $5,000?
Yeah, they booked it for their wedding.
Oh,
and we tried to warn them. Neither one of us do songs about love that goes right. I mean, that was terrible. Yeah, my friend James Hannon and I talked about that earlier today. How I'm not a wedding band, that's for sure. Yeah.
Are they still together?
Yeah, I guess so. As far as I know.
Well, I guess it turned out okay.
If not, I'll play the divorce party and make double money. I'll double down and play the divorce party. So this is a country song about drinking and cheating and people dying. It's called Room 402. In Room 402 lies a lonely man tonight. I left him long before he would find the morning light. Just another barroom romance, kisses sealed with lies. I left my pride in Room 402 tonight. In Room 402 he slipped off his ring, and my trembling lips I dare not say a thing. Over as he drew the curtain, well, I killed the light. I broke a heart in Room 402 tonight. Room 402 holds the secrets that are heavy on my mind. If the walls of 402 could talk, well, I pray that they'd lie, for I swore I would never cross that drunken cheater's line. Oh, but shame poured right out of me like the drunken cheater's wine. I beg you not to go. Though my body's gone, you'll be haunted by my soul. Oh, for when I left the man, well, I took my life, and I'll be cheating in Room 402 tonight. Room 402 heavy on my mind. If the walls of 402 could talk, well, I pray that they'd lie. For I swore I would never cross that drunken cheater's line. Oh, but shame poured right out of me like the drunken cheater's wine. And room 402 lies a lonely man tonight.
Yes.
Thanks.
Kayla, nice.
Well, a few years ago, you played Brazos Nights and put on one heck of a show. Are you still with the same band?
Yeah, some of them. And let's see, Nick plays with us off and on. He was the telly picker in that. And then Josh Garner was the drummer. I'm kind of splitting my dates. Brandon Ryder's rhythm section, a lot of those guys are from here. So I use them. It's Justin Moraes. If you're looking for him on social media, he's just incognito because he thinks he's slick. And then Josh Barnard
Yeah,
is
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
probably.
Yeah.
Josh Barnard's a guy I grew up with. He's a great telly player. So half the time I use those guys, and then half the time I use most of the band from that. The only difference is the bass player. Jason Carter's playing bass with us now.
Do you do a lot of just solo shows by yourself?
Yeah, that's really been that's changed quite a bit. It took quite a while for me to be confident enough that I could keep somebody by myself entertained for a time slot. But yeah, over the last, I think September and October, I did 7,500 miles solo acoustic, and
Wow.
it was really great for my noggin.
So you're playing Waco, and what other? What's your area?
We're doing the Midwest every quarter. I guess the furthest north that we've gone is central Nebraska and back. We do Kansas City, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just the Southwest, and that's kind of. St. Louis is a hub for. They really dig traditional country music, so they were really latched onto the single. That's probably as far away as we've gone. I've worked in further with Jason. We went to Minneapolis and then some east, but neither coast really have we done yet. But
Go Vikes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, but are you going up there with the band or playing solo?
Some of it's been both. We're gonna go back up the third week of January, and I'll take a full band. This last run was solo. I've done about half and half. And I'll go play solo acoustic to get my foot in the door and grow a following before I'll charge the venue for a full band, because it's not fair to walk into a place where you have no idea and say I'm worth X amount of money when you don't know. So I'll go take a hit solo acoustic, and then that's kind of been the business model so far. And then once it's profitable for both parties, I'll drag the full band.
How'd you get into doing Brazos Nights? Because that's such a great thing that Waco does. As far as top shelf bands, and I know one of the bands you opened for was Whiskey Myers, and they played and they killed. How'd you get hooked up with that?
I got really, really lucky. That's about half the music business anyway, I hear. But yeah, actually, one of my professors at MCC, his daughter did the booking for Brazos Nights, so we were for sure rookies and still are. But that's how we got added to that.
I've seen that. I was staying up late. Because that Waco City channel that Troy works for, Troy shoots all the videos.
Sure.
In case you didn't know, for
I remember that was the hottest July 4th, and I was sweating. It made me do it.
And your show came up, and I enjoyed it. And you actually had two songs on there, and I was like, man, this is great. Sound was great. You were great. And I'm just glad that the editing was
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there was a couple parts in that that really sucked. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's a great venue. And do you have any plans, maybe trying to get back on there?
I would love to, as soon as they'd have us. We've done the Bosque River stage a few times since then. It's funny that I really need to get some new stuff on YouTube. I've got photophobia pretty bad, so I've been really lacking about that. But it's time, because we had a great time. That's not a good representation of what we're capable of, which is you should always grow. And I think if you're not growing, if I were to be satisfied with something from 3 years ago, then I should quit. So I love and hate that you saw that, but
it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. It was very good.
Well, a while back we were trying to line you up, and we texted back and forth, and you had a gig in Lukenbach.
yeah.
That had to be a cool show and a bucket list scratch off. How did it go?
It absolutely was. It was a crazy thing. I booked those months in advance. And that first Lukenbach gig, Miranda Lambert actually she'd never played Lukenbach, which is crazy to me to think about that. But
Really?
yes, so she does a benefit thing called Paws for the Cause, and it's like for stray dogs and stuff. So she wanted to come have her private benefit concert, and so I thought, well, surely they'll reschedule us, and that's totally okay, because it's Lukenbach. I'm proud to do that.
And it's Miranda.
And it's Miranda Lambert, so that's cool. They were kind enough to keep us on the bill, so that was pretty neat. It was like Kayla Ray and Miranda Lambert.
Oh, you got to play. You have to open for Miranda.
It was really like a convoluted kind of thing, but we played out. We were billed for the outside stage anyway, and we broke it down and did it real quiet, like acoustic, which ended up being really conducive for the environment. And they sound checked in the dance hall, and then I thought for sure that they would just shuffle us out with everybody else, but they gave us like $1,000 tickets, and we got to sit, and it was amazing. They treated us like we'd paid tons of money to be there, and so actually I play 2 more times before the year's over, and they just confirmed my contract through the end of 2016. So that feels really great.
So you're going to go back?
Yeah, December 18th is my next date there, and then we've got dates all the way through the end of next year.
Watch out for Blake. He's on the roam.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I got to worry about that.
Yeah, right.
I'm a lot meaner than he is.
Well, you've shared the stage with such acts as Whiskey Myers, Jason Eady, Kevin Fowler, and many others. Any gigs that stand out for any good or bad reasons? Or any crazy stories, any road stories?
Oh my gosh. I wonder how many of them I should share.
Do tell. As long as it takes.
Man, I've had a lot of fun. The Whiskey Myers gig was one. It was a city gig for the city of Port Lavaca, so that was cool.
Those guys are great.
Man, we had a great time. It was a really fun co-bill. It was that same year. It was the 3rd of July. Actually, we played down there, and then we came home and played the 4th of July. That was a city gig. We played right on the bay. That stage was like way up in the air, like 3 stories above everybody, which was kind of wild. I didn't wear a skirt. And so I don't know. And Edie, of course, we've worked together for a while. I TM'd for him for 2 years, and obviously he produced the record. So we play together every chance we get. And I've had some crazy nights with them, for sure. There was one night we played this place called the Wild Turkey Bar in Cuero, Texas, and he was working. He had to go in the studio the next week, and we had been out for a week, and he was getting sick, and so he was losing his voice, and there was like nobody there. Cuero was, in the state of Texas, it doesn't matter what you do. I could be a monkey with cymbals standing on my head, and I wouldn't beat football, So the Cuero Turkeys were in playoffs, and it was Friday night, and the game was at home, so there wasn't anybody at our gig, So I ended up playing half the night, and that was the night was great. The bar owner did the thing where they closed the doors, and everybody gets one with Edie, and I used to talk so much smack, like, I'm the tour manager, I'm telling all you grown men, twice my age what to do, I've got this under control. Yeah, that's not going to happen to me. The bar is not going to eat me. I eat the bar, and that's how this works.
Yes.
And so I think I rode the merch case into the trailer, like, yelling, like, 8 seconds, and they're pushing me in the trailer crazy. They closed the door and just started pouring, like, a variety of anything you could imagine. And I'm, I guess I was 23. Anyway, I remember, the last thing I remember was thinking, like, they're going to be so mad at me. I'm a grown-up. I'm here to do a job. What am I going to do? So I walked outside, and the van was locked. So I just analyzed the situation. And so I climbed on top of the van in that little nook. It was a short-nosed white van, the little nook between the windshield and the hood, and I just passed smooth out. But my thinking was, doesn't matter how pissed they are, they can't leave me this way. And it worked. They didn't leave me, and I didn't get fired. So that's probably the craziest night with Edie. We've had a lot of fun. There was like a picture somebody took of me, and they draped me in the Soviet flag right at the last minute. Like, this random guy had a Soviet flag behind his back and wanted to take a picture with me. And then at the last minute, he wrapped me up in it, and they took this picture. The strangest thing. I mean, there's been some crazy things.
So this is going to show up on YouTube. You're going to be a communist.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's terrible for marketing. I feel like country music and communism are not conducive to one another.
Yeah. Well, you obviously have an appreciation for the stalwarts of country music, but I'd like to know, is anyone out there that you currently listen to, anyone you like? Because there's a lot of, bad shit out there right now. Is there someone that's really got you perked up?
Sure. James Hand is one for sure. Also, Sturgill Simpson is fantastic, and the sounds that they're using are really traditional, but he's also offering something that hadn't been done yet. but that he's like the hipster thing to like right now, which is great, but it's also a little frustrating because I'm like, I've been trying to tell you people. There's a girl named Erin Enderlin that I met. She is fantastic. She's a Nashville writer, and she wrote Monday Morning Church, and she wrote I'm Always Your Last Call. She was 22 when Alan Jackson cut Monday Morning Church.
No kidding.
And she has kind of taken me under wing a little. She's just as mean as I am, and I love her to pieces. Goodness, I love her. We had a lot of fun. We wrote some up there, so you should dig into her stuff if you're really looking for. She's a master of her
How'd you
craft.
end up going to Nashville?
Oh, there was. It's kind of a long story. There's a syndicated radio show out of Chicago that spun the record quite a bit, and so they had an awards show at Opryland, and so I didn't win anything, but I was nominated for 6 categories, and so it was good. It really, though, I mean, I was thankful for that, but it was a great excuse to go up and see Erin and just learn from her. She took me to all these songwriters conventions, and she's kind of a pillar as far as I just really was quiet and studied the way that she handled herself, and she's really well respected. She plays her instrument well, and she delivers her craft.
She's young.
She's young. She, I guess she's in her early 30s now, but she was been really smart about her money and always is hungry and learning. Well,
so, just think where this show is going to take you.
Yeah.
To the even next level. Right, Dave?
Yeah, Lucinda's dying to get on this show. I mean, she's calling me every day, and I'm like, no. We got this gal from Waco, Kayla, is coming in, so chill out.
So you say the next time maybe it'll be a barn instead of a shed, or?
Well, we're gonna expand.
Okay.
At some point, yeah, and maybe get a calendar that's not the year 2000 on the wall.
Well, it all depends on city zoning laws. If I can build a 2-story shed, I'll do it. But if they're gonna shut me down, then we'll just have to take it out to Ted's place.
There you go.
Don't do it on my account because I'm fond of the shed.
I love
Everybody
the
loves
shed.
the shed.
Everyone loves the shed.
Yeah. People don't realize that it's a real shed until they get here. They're like, oh, wow, it's a real shed.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know what to expect, but I dig it.
It's got a certain, what's the word?
Je ne sais quoi?
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
So tell us about what's your most memorable gig and maybe a gig you'd like to forget?
Oh, let me chew on this one.
Let's start with the one you'd like to forget. That's probably more interesting.
Oh, let's see. One I'd like to forget. Man, there's a slew of them.
I think you forgot it.
Yeah, me too. That's really hard to say.
How appropriate.
Yeah. I love what I do. I really, really do. So, there's not ever, even if everything goes wrong, there's not ever a time where I walk away going, I'm never doing this again, or that was terrible, or, there are times you get frustrated, and traveling is really, it's awesome, but it's also, it can get mentally exhausting. So, there was I don't know, everybody has a thing. We played a gig in a metal building once that, the kick drum came back about 4 times, because of the echo. We couldn't decide where the downbeat was, and everybody.
Yeah, right.
And,
let alone a bass player.
Yeah. And then once we were playing on the coast, down there near Port Lavaca, the people that actually got me that gig with Whiskey Myers, we were playing their little home bar, and the guitar player got real drunk, and he started asking out everybody how they thought...
Guitar players get drunk?
It's part of the job. But how he thought that he ought to spell taint, and I don't know why that kept happening, but over the microphone he kept repeating the word taint, and then he tried to do the James Brown thing and kick it over and bring it back, but it was a tripod stand, so he just kicked over his microphone. I don't know. There's a slew of them. But I don't know. I love what I do. There's nothing.
You didn't get hit with a beer bottle, so
Yeah, that
cool.
hadn't happened yet. That has not happened
good.
yet. As soon as I say it, it'll happen tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. I love what I do. There's so many throughout my life. I got to play with Johnny Gimbel when I was coming up. I did a circuit with
really?
with the
you
Texas
played with
Playboy.
Johnny?
I got to sit when I first met Dick. I was 19, and he and Marilyn, his wife, are really great people. And I just I was in a weird spot in my life, kind of living in my car. So they took me in, and
really,
one of the many times I've lived in my car, I'm sure will, because of the thing. My life is a casualty of country music.
You brought your suitcase with you, so
yeah, right.
I came equipped.
Well, Johnny's the best.
He's the best.
I got to see him probably 3-4 times, and there's never really. I mean, Mark O'Connor, a few other fiddlers that I've been turned on to and seen. But Johnny was so smooth and so lyrical and so beautiful that I'm happy now that he's gone that I got to see him.
Sure. Yeah, he had he's one of the few sidemen, which I hate to even call him a sideman, but he was an original Stranger with Merle Haggard, and he's played with everybody, but he's one of the few sidemen that have had a successful stint with a major label. He had an MCA deal in the early 70s, and he even had his own slogan. He was country music's favorite fiddler. And, you know, if you hear that tone and you know it's Johnny Gimble, you don't have to know squat about country music to know, even like the early George Strait stuff, like there's that tone that'll just rip your heart out, and that's how you get remembered, you know?
Yeah. He had the chops.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of chops, why don't you chop us up another song?
Oh, well, what do you want to hear? You want to hear something sad? Do you want to hear something hokey?
I want to hear one of yours.
Well, do you want to hear something sad, or do you want to hear something hokey?
I want to hear you play what you want to play.
Well,
do you feel sad now, or do you feel happy?
You know, I never can quite decide, and I think that's why I'm a songwriter. But
you're in the shed, so
we're still waiting.
Probably happy.
We're still waiting for somebody to write our theme song for In the Shed.
Yeah?
Yeah. Everybody says they'll do it, but nobody ever does it.
Oh, I could probably...
Just throwing that out there.
Well, Troy has the intro, so that's a good start.
Well, we need a real song. That's a bullshit song.
I like it.
It fits, I guess.
Let's see here.
Let's close it with the song.
Okay. This is a newer one. This is so Guy Clark's one of my favorite writers, and he and Verlin Thompson and Sean Camp, they wrote about this traveling fiddle player named Sis Draper, and they all wrote from different perspectives. When Sean was growing up, Sis would come to town. She was a real person, I learned later. And he was a kid just learning to pick, and so he just revered her so much because she was this traveling musician that knew, I guess, his grandfather. And so she would come in and so he's got a tune that's real, like, tongue-in-cheek, you know, don't get too tight if you want to pick with Sis this evening, or, you know, things like that. And then I guess Sean Camp wrote about, from a lover's perspective, too, this beautiful waltz called Magnolia Wind. And the reason that it's so beautiful is his whole thing is if you need to go, you go fiddle, and I'll love you either way. Because I'd rather have you. If I can't dance with you, then I won't dance at all, he says. And then on Guy's last record, he actually wrote about the death of Sis Draper, and she dies because she's poisoned. Her whiskey is poisoned by some bartender who thinks she's sneaking around with her old man. And there's this real, like, sawed-off, short, frizzy-headed guitar player that travels with her named Kentucky Sue. And I just was so infatuated by that story, so I thought that I would at least attempt to write from the traveling musician chick's perspective. So this is called Magnolias in Springtime. I've sang songs about fire on the mountain, songs about just running wild and blue. Well, I've sang songs about life, loss, and heartache. Ain't never sang songs about love with you. Well, I spent years just a-wondering against the weather, slowed down long enough to break my heart in two. I ain't done nothing worth magnolias in the springtime. Done nothing in this world like loving you. Oh, darling, there are nights I'll leave you lonely. There are nights I'll walk through fire to hold your hand. There are nights you'll think that I've just gone crazy, just to wrap you in my loving arms again. So I'll keep on singing about fire on the mountain. I'll keep on just running wild and blue. And as magnolias keep on blowing in the springtime, and darling, I'll just keep on loving you. And darling, I'll just keep on loving you.
Kayla, nice.
Thanks.
Very nice, very nice.
Thanks,
we want to
man.
thank Kayla Ray for being in the shed
Yeah,
tonight.
happy to
I
be
know
in
it
the
was
shed.
your busy woman,
Oh.
playing all the time. So
Yeah, you're pretty heavily booked, I see.
Man, I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, I think we've been averaging about 13 nights a month, which has been great. So, and I'm still doing it all in house. So
is this your
that's
full-time
great.
job?
Yeah, if you can call it that. It seems like too much fun to be called work, but yeah, but I do love it. So.
What's the next best gig you have coming up?
Well, Friday will be a lot of fun with Edie and Adam Hood. Man,
It's at Lakeside?
that's at Lakeside Tavern in the backyard. Courtney Patton, she is fantastic too. That's Jason Edie's wife. So they've been doing the Southern Brothers tour for the last couple of years. So we're actually going to open with the same band as Southern Sisters. So we're going to song swap just like they would, and then they'll come on. So we're going to open for them. But as far as traveling out, yeah, I don't know. Through the end of the year, I'm home quite a bit. It doesn't really pick back up till that third week of January. I'm doing the Zach and Jim Blowout at the Coliseum. That's January 16th. And that's about the time we'll release the next radio single. So I'm sure I'll do a radio tour with that. But
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy you're here.
yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
This is great.
Kayla Ray, everybody, where can people see your music and hear your music and all that good stuff?
Well, if you do the digital thing, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. I don't think we're on Pandora. I need to look into that. But just KaylaRayMusic.com has everything. You can buy a hard copy of the record. You can find the links to all the social media hubs and the full tour schedule through. Goodness, I set it up. I should know. Anyway, for a while, it's all up there. That's probably the best place. Facebook, Twitter. I'm not much on gadgets, and I still do it all myself. So if I'm slow to update, just always revert to the website because it'll always be the most current. So.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Kayla, for being here.
Yeah.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me. Sure.
Thank you.